And so today I'm announcing that I will not be seeking re-election, and that my term as Prime Minister will conclude no later than the 7th of February. This has been the most fulfilling 5.5 years of my life. I am leaving because with such a privileged role comes responsibility. The responsibility to know when you are the right person to lead and also when you are not. I know what this job takes, and I know that I no longer have enough in the tank to do it justice.
In a surprise announcement on Thursday, Jacinda Ardern, the Prime Minister of New Zealand, announced she was resigning from her post as Prime Minister. Ardern made her announcement during her party's first caucus meeting of the year, shortly after she confirmed that a national election would hold in New Zealand in October. According to Ardern, who has amassed a following of Liberal supporters for her wide-eyed climate change policies, her decision to resign stems from the realization that she no longer has what it takes to effectively perform her tasks as Prime Minister. Over the years, Ardern and Justin Trudeau have been hailed as young revolutionary leaders with lots of similarities by the mainstream media. Canadians can only hope that the similarities continue now that his counterpart has realized that she is not suitable for her role. Trudeau should also reach the same conclusions and gracefully announce his resignation. But Trudeau's tenacious cling to power and all the ethical and unethical perks that come with it will not allow him to make this long overdue decision. Ardern's resignation will be immediate, and her time as Prime Minister will end no later than February 7, but she will continue as a member of Parliament until the election in October. During the surprise announcement, Ardern said she, like every other politician, strives to give all they can for as long as they can, and they leave when they can no longer keep up. But there is probably more to the resignation of the known World Economic Forum puppet Prime Minister.
I know there will be much discussion in the aftermath of this decision as to what the so-called real reason was. I can tell you that what I'm sharing today is it. The only interesting angle that you will find is that after going on 6 years of some big challenges, I am human. Politicians are human. We give all that we can for as long as we can, and then it's time. And for me, it's time. And that I'm looking forward to spending time with my family once again.
There is no doubt that the New Zealand Prime Minister is indeed looking forward to spending more time with her family. According to her, she's finally going to get married to Clark Gayford, her partner of almost 10 years. But there is certainly more to her surprise resignation. Ardern became the world's youngest female head of government in 2017 when she was elected as Prime Minister at 37. She quickly gained popularity on the international stage, especially after she had her child in June 2018, becoming the second elected leader to do so in modern history. She was hailed for her handling of the Christchurch mass shootings and the White Island volcanic eruption in 2019. But her popularity soon began to dwindle rapidly in New Zealand due to her WEF-backed strict zero-COVID policies that left thousands of New Zealanders stranded overseas. Last month, the Cantor One News poll conducted by Kantar, the world's leading marketing data and analytics company, found that support for Ardern and the New Zealand Labour Party was down to its lowest level since 2017. According to the polls, support for Labour was down to 33% from a peak of 53% in December 2022. The poll found that the party would not be able to form a government even alongside likely coalition partners Green Party, with 9%, and Maori Party, with 2%. The poll also found that support for the right bloc has been steadily increasing in New Zealand. The National Party increased its lead by 1% to 38%, while the Libertarian ACT Party jumped by 2% to 11%. With their combined 49%, both parties can comfortably form a government without support from other coalition partners. According to the poll, Ardern was the most popular choice for Prime Minister, but her approval rating dipped by 1% to 29%, her lowest rating since August 2017, before she became Prime Minister. On the other hand, support for National Party leader Christopher Luxon climbed by 2% to 23%, the closest gap between their approval ratings since Luxon was appointed as the party leader in November 2021. In addition to the WEF-backed COVID policies, which a court ruled illegal last year, Labour popularity among New Zealanders has also taken hit after hit as the country continues to battle high living costs and widening social inequality. This is another area where Trudeau and Ardern have proven themselves to be Klaus Schwab's evil twin puppet leaders. Shortly before the poll was conducted at the end of November 2022, the Reserve Bank of New Zealand, the country's central bank, warned that the country would enter into recession in 2023. The bank also increased the official cash rate by an unprecedented 75 basis points, taking borrowing costs to 4.25%. New Zealand is battling a 30-year high inflation rate of 7.2%, with food costs up by their highest in 32 years. According to the official figures, grocery prices were up by 11% in December, fruit and vegetable prices by 23%, and restaurant meals by 7.8% compared to the same period in 2021. If what is happening in Canada is any indication, these figures don't even tell half the story. Meanwhile, citizens are becoming increasingly worried about crime and deepening social inequality in New Zealand. There have been several high-profile cases, including the stabbing of an Auckland dairy worker, which sparked nationwide protests late last year. While responding to the Cantor One News poll, Luxon said the results showed that New Zealanders feel the country is going in the wrong direction. Ardern promised that she and the Labour Party would rise to the occasion as they had done previously. Apparently, her resignation is her way of fulfilling that promise to New Zealanders. It doesn't take a genius to see that there is more to Ardern's resignation than the burnout she gave as a reason during her announcement. Late last year, there were rumors of a possible resignation, which she quickly quelled. Here we are a few weeks later, and she is doing exactly that when her party's chances of successfully forming a majority government have become as slim as the regard she gave the unvaccinated during the pandemic. For now, it is unclear who will replace Ardern to lead the Labour Party at the polls come October 14. On Thursday, Deputy Leader and Finance Minister Grant Robertson announced he would not be seeking the post of Prime Minister. Shortly after Ardern's announcement, her deputy said, "I am not putting myself forward to be candidate for the leadership of the Labour Party." Like the Prime Minister, Robertson must have realized that seeking the post despite the economic conditions under the Labour Party is an exercise in futility. The Labour caucus has a week to find a new candidate that holds over 2/3 of support within the caucus. If that does not happen, the contest for a new leader and prime minister will be open to the wider Labour membership. Several world leaders and top politicians, including Canada's Justin Trudeau and Luxon, have reacted to Ardern's announcement. On Thursday, the national leader tweeted, "On behalf of the National Party, I offer to Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern our thanks for her service to New Zealand. She has given her all to the incredibly demanding job, and I wish her and her family all the very best for the future." This is another area where Ardern and Trudeau differ. If, by some miracle, the Canadian Prime Minister decides to resign, no one will applaud him for giving his all to the job. Many of the comments under Luxon's tweet applauded the graceful gesture, but stated that Ardern was not deserving of such gestures after all she has done as Prime Minister. With one WEF puppet bowing out due to a lack of support from voters, one can only hope that Justin Trudeau will take the hint and do the same. He is easily the worst Prime Minister Canada has ever had, yet he and his Liberals continue to hold their heads high like they are the best thing to have ever happened to the country. The Prime Minister spoke in Quebec on Wednesday, once again going on and on about his favorite topic and only offering to Canadians, which is climate change. He criticized Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre, who was also scheduled to speak in Quebec on Wednesday, for not paying attention to Quebec and failing to realize that for Quebecers, the economy and the environment are non-contrast and must go together. Certainly, Trudeau has nothing more to offer Canada and Canadians except for poorly thought-out climate change policies that will cost millions of Canadians their jobs and source of livelihoods. The best thing for the Prime Minister and Canadians will be for him to follow in the footsteps of his fellow WEF puppet and announce his resignation. It is only when that happens that Canadians can begin to heal. What are your thoughts on Jacinda Ardern's sudden resignation and claims that she is resigning to spend more time with her family? Please drop your comments and replies in the appropriate section below. Also, ensure you like this video and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. You can also check out our other videos on the constant BS of Liberals worldwide, especially in Justin Trudeau's Canada. Thanks for watching.